Tesla Optimus 3.0 is coming. And if this next version is a real leap, it could be the moment Tesla stops looking like a company experimenting with humanoid robots and starts looking like a company trying to define the category. But it may also be arriving at the worst possible time. Because while Tesla prepares its next Optimus, China is no longer treating humanoids like futuristic side projects. China is pushing AI, robotics, and humanoid systems deeper into manufacturing as part of a broader industrial strategy. And companies like UBTech are already connecting humanoid robots to real industrial environments. That changes the story completely. This is no longer just about whether Tesla can build a better robot. It is about whether Tesla can launch a more useful robot into a market that is getting more competitive, more industrial, and less patient by the month. Because for years, humanoid robots lived in a strange middle zone. They were advanced enough to impress people, but still too early to feel economically important. They looked amazing in demos, but still felt far away from real daily work. That is why most people still think of humanoids the way they think of concept cars: exciting, futuristic, and not yet normal. But that phase is starting to end. Now, the real question is not whether a humanoid robot can walk, wave, sort, or dance well enough to go viral. The real question is whether it can become useful enough, reliable enough, safe enough, and cheap enough to justify deployment in the real economy. And that is exactly why Optimus 3.0 matters. This next version does not need to be a better showpiece. It needs to look like the first version that could plausibly matter at industrial scale. That is the difference between a robot people talk about and a robot companies plan around. And Tesla, to be fair, still has a real path here. Tesla is one of the few companies on Earth that people already associate with category shifts. Love the company or hate it, people believe Tesla can take an idea that sounds too ambitious, survive years of skepticism, and still turn it into a real market. In emerging industries, that belief matters. Narrative is not everything, but it helps attract attention, talent, partners, and patience. That is why Optimus still has so much gravity. Tesla has software ambition, it has manufacturing experience, it has a vertically integrated mindset, and investor attention around Optimus 3.0 is being driven by expectations of better dexterity and better manufacturability, with the possibility that Tesla first deploys it in its own factories. That matters because if Optimus 3.0 lands as a serious step forward, Tesla does not just get a better robot, it gets a stronger claim on the humanoid future itself. But that is also where the pressure starts, because while everyone is waiting to see what Tesla's next robot looks like, China is building something more dangerous than a single rival humanoid. China is building momentum, and momentum in a category like this is brutally important. Tesla's bet looks like a flagship bet. One iconic machine, one major platform, one story big enough to define the field. China's bet looks very different. China's bet looks like many firms, many suppliers, many pilots, many hardware advantages, and a broad push that does not depend on one perfect robot to work. Reuters reports that China's latest 5-year plan puts AI at the center of a wider economic strategy and explicitly includes humanoid robots among its priority technologies. That distinction matters because a flagship story gives you focus, but an ecosystem gives you pressure. A flagship can dominate attention. An ecosystem can dominate iteration. A flagship can create the most famous robot. An ecosystem can create the hardest market to catch. And that is why China is not just another competitor in this story. It may be the most structurally difficult competitor Tesla could face. Start with Unitree. Unitree matters not just because it is visible, but because it represents speed and presence. It helps create the feeling that Chinese robotics companies are showing up everywhere at once. Even when audiences do not know the technical details, they can feel when one side of a market suddenly looks fast, alive, and aggressive. But Unitree is only the surface layer. The deeper issue is that China is not trying to win this category with one robot that goes viral. It is building depth. That is where companies like AgiBot matter. Reuters reported from an AgiBot warehouse in Shanghai where humanoids were being trained through repeated real-world tasks, with Chinese startups backed by subsidies, free office space, and procurement incentives as part of a wider push to bring embodied AI into real use. That kind of ecosystem density is powerful. It means progress does not depend on one company getting everything right. It means the category can move through many parallel experiments at once. It means suppliers can scale around multiple customers. It means learning compounds across a broader field. And in manufacturing-driven industries, that can become a huge advantage. Then you get to UBTech, and this is where the story gets much less theoretical. Reuters reported that UBTech signed a deal with Airbus to expand humanoid robot use in aviation manufacturing, that Airbus had already procured Walker S2, and that UBTech expected production capacity for industrial humanoids to exceed 10,000 units in 2026. That is not just a flashy robotics story. That is aerospace manufacturing. And once humanoids get pulled into serious industrial environments like that, the conversation changes. The question stops being, look what the robot can do, and becomes, can this machine fit into a real production system? That is the exact question Tesla has to answer with Optimus 3.0, because this is the point where the robot race stops being entertainment and becomes operations, and operations are where fantasy dies. In a demo, a robot only has to impress you for a minute. In a factory, it has to justify its existence every shift. Can it repeat a task without drifting? Can it move around people safely? Can it manipulate parts without constant errors? Can it stay online long enough to matter? Can it be serviced without destroying the economics? Can it fit into existing workflows instead of forcing the workflow to bend around the robot? Those are ruthless filters, and that is why the factory question is the killer section of this entire story. Most viewers still think the humanoid race will be won by the robot with the coolest clips. It probably will not. It will most likely be won in boring, repetitive, high-value environments where usefulness matters more than spectacle. Factories, battery lines, component handling, material transport, inspection support. Production-adjacent tasks that are repetitive enough to automate, structured enough to standardize, and valuable enough to justify experimentation. That is the real battlefield. And there is already real proof that the battlefield is moving in that direction. BMW announced on February 27th that it is launching a pilot project with humanoid robots at its Leipzig plant in Germany to integrate humanoids into existing series production and explore uses in batteries and components. BMW also said its earlier Figure 02 pilot in Spartanburg supported the production of more than 30,000 BMW X3s over 10 months, moved more than 90,000 components, and logged roughly 1,250 operating hours. That is a major signal, not because it proves humanoids are solved, but because it proves the market is moving from theory to pilot deployment in serious manufacturing environments. And once that happens, the standards change. The winner is no longer the robot that looks most futuristic. The winner is the robot factories can trust. That means the real scoreboard is brutally simple: reliability, uptime, dexterity for useful tasks, human safety, maintenance burden, manufacturing cost, deployment speed, workflow integration, supply chain support, repeatability over time. That is the actual contest. And when you look at the race through that lens, Tesla and China start to look powerful in very different ways. Tesla's power is concentration. China's power is accumulation. Tesla can focus enormous attention on one platform and one reveal. If Optimus 3.0 delivers a real leap, Tesla could instantly become the company most people associate with the humanoid future. That matters. Public imagination still shapes capital, talent, partnerships, and market energy. But China's strength is more mechanical and, in some ways, more dangerous. Reuters reports that China's humanoid push benefits from deep hardware and manufacturing advantages, with startups and analysts saying the country can produce up to 90% of humanoid robot components domestically. The same reporting describes support through subsidies and infrastructure aimed at accelerating real deployment. That is a structural edge, not a branding edge. And structural edges are harder to beat with charisma. This is why the biggest comparison in this story is not which robot looks better. It is this: what exactly does Optimus 3.0 have to beat? It does not just have to beat one Chinese demo. It has to beat a system that may be faster at iterating hardware, lowering cost, scaling suppliers, running parallel experiments, and linking robotics more directly to industrial policy and factory adoption. That is the hard part. But China also has weaknesses, and this is where Tesla still has room. Moving fast is not the same as winning. Shipping more pilots is not the same as solving reliability. And ecosystem momentum is not the same as industrial trust. That is Tesla's opening, because Tesla does not necessarily need to outnumber China overnight. It needs to do something more surgical. It needs Optimus 3.0 to cross a credibility threshold, a threshold where factories, investors, and serious observers stop asking, "Is this an impressive robot?" and start asking, "How fast can Tesla deploy this if it works?" That is a very different level of market power. So what does Optimus 3.0 specifically need to show? Not vague progress, specific progress, better hands and finer manipulation. Better consistency on repetitive tasks, better movement in constrained industrial spaces, better runtime and uptime, safer human-robot interaction, lower cost manufacturability, a clearer path from prototype to internal factory use. In other words, Tesla does not need to win every robotics benchmark. It needs to look closer to industrial usefulness than it did before. That may sound obvious, but it is actually the heart of the whole race. Because if Optimus 3.0 is just smoother, sleeker, or more lifelike, people will talk. If it looks more deployable, people will recalculate. And recalculation is what changes markets. That is why the title question matters so much. Can Optimus 3.0 beat China's robot push? The honest answer is yes, but only if it changes the way the market scores the race. If the race is about attention, Tesla absolutely has a shot. If the race is about who has the broader industrial surge behind them right now, China looks extremely strong. If the race is about who can first produce a humanoid that feels truly plausible in factory settings at meaningful scale, then the door is still open. But the bar is much higher than many viewers realize. And that is why Optimus 3.0 cannot afford to be merely promising. It cannot afford to be another chapter in a beautiful future tense story. It has to feel like evidence. Evidence that Tesla can move from vision to deployment. Evidence that Tesla can turn one famous robot into a serious industrial machine. Evidence that Tesla can launch into a market China is already accelerating and still remain the company to beat. Because if Optimus 3.0 does that, Tesla still has a very real path. But if it does not, China may gain something more valuable than headlines: time, and time compounds. The side that learns faster, pilots faster, iterates faster, and scales earlier can become brutally hard to catch, especially once factories, suppliers, and integration partners start building around that momentum. That is why this race feels bigger than a normal robot story. It is no longer just about AI. It is no longer just about movement. It is no longer just about cool demos or viral clips. It is about industrial adoption. It is about whether humanoid robots can become useful enough to plug into the real economy. And the company, or ecosystem, that solves that first may do more than win a robotics race. It may help define the next era of manufacturing itself.